Hola, hola, hello.
What's going on, people? Welcome out to Funway.
Good morning, everybody. You say good morning? We were up and out of the room at about 8 o'clock this morning. We are headed to Alcatraz. Super excited. We tried to show a video to Rhett. Do you remember the video? No? Okay. He'll figure it out when we get there. But we are super excited. We got a big day today, but just wanted to check in real quick. We'll see you guys soon.
Alcatraz cruises vessels sail under rules and regulations set forth by the United States Coast Guard.
Military time.
Okay.
When they upgraded and it became a federal prison, they didn't touch this row.
Oh, cool.
So it still has the old cell bars on the doors. That is the cell for Al Capone.
Oh, that's cool.
Al Capone lived in that cell for 4.5 years.
That's amazing.
These bars were all replaced in 1934 with the more secure. These are hardened steel and they're hollow. Inside there's a loose bar. So if you started trying to carve through that and you hit that bar in the middle, it would just make noise. You couldn't grab it. The old bars you'll see over on that side, they're just flat iron.
Okay.
And if you have a piece of rope and some abrasion, you could carve through it like that and go right through the thing. You couldn't do that on these.
That's cool.
How would you like to live in there? That's all you get to live in, huh? Wouldn't that be weird? No. There's a cabinet up above it. And there's another one all the way up. Come over here where you can see, and you can look all the way up and see a cabinet. You see one there?
Yeah.
And there's one there, and there, and there. And on that one, 3. That's how they got into the cells. These keys open the cabinets. They don't open the cells, they open the cabinets. In the cabinet, there are levers to open the cells.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you couldn't carry the key on the floor because you have bad manners. So they would lower a key like that on a rope, and the guard could take it, and then he could come over to a cabinet, put the key in. Come on over here so you can see. So he put the key in, he'd turn the key, and then this is how they got into the cells. This is how they unlocked the cells.
That's so cool.
There's a selector here. Normally you leave it on A. You see the letter A there?
Mm-hmm.
But you could open just one cell. If you wanted to, you could move this and say, I want to open cell 4. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's so
Normally you leave it on A because everybody's going to go eat or everybody's going to go work.
And then the whole thing.
Yeah. Then you pull this bar. This big bar runs all the way down to the halfway point, to the cutoff. And that actually controls whether the cell's open or not.
Wow.
Yes, still works today.
But how did you guys
I'm
get
sorry?
back?
Well, it's more complicated than that, but yes. You pull this down and up, and that would open the cells. Then you re-engage, pull down and up, and that would close the cells.
So would they have someone like at the cell to make sure the...
No, they'd have someone watching you from here.
Oh, so if they did anything, they
Yeah, so
would...
there's a guy with a pistol watching you.
Huh.
So they
And then
didn't-
anything else, the prisoner, the guards on the floor had billy clubs.
Okay.
They had various ways
if
of
anyone tried to,
encouraging
like-
behavior.
Wow.
But the main thing they were worried about is someone stealing a key. That would be really
Yeah.
bad.
Right, right.
How would somebody steal a key? And how did you guys get over the ocean?
Used a boat just like you did today. Remember how you came in on a boat?
Yeah?
It was just like that. It was a smaller boat that was just like that.
Wait, was it like a ferry?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just called it a ferry, that's all.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, all right.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So if you go in there, you can see where they had the most troublesome prisoners.
Okay.
It's called solitary confinement.
And that's D block?
That's D block.
Okay.
They also called it the treatment unit because it meant they were trying to treat you if you stopped misbehaving.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Those cells are bigger because they remodeled it in 1940 and the rules changed.
Okay.
But you didn't get out of the cells.
Wow.
You were out one time to take a shower at the end of the row, and that was it.
Wow.
For the entire week.
So cool.
They fed you through a slot in the door. And in there you can see the ones for the worst guys. For the worst guys, they had a black door. They could close it and make it completely dark in there.
Oh, wow.
You'll see those at the end of the D block.
Very cool.
Back to this one, Matt. Right here. Baseball. Now run to the next one. Run to the next one. To the next one.
prisoners were sent here. They stayed in their cells 24 hours a day. One of the more infamous prisoners to live here in D Block was convicted killer Robert Stroud, the so-called Birdman. And almost immediately upon his arrival at Alcatraz, he was relegated to the treatment area. And he didn't bring his birds along with him, which made him very unhappy. Cells 9 through 14. So it was occupied. Regulations required that the light be on.
Officers to live in,
Very nice.
and they stood here till 1940, 60 years, and that's when the prison, I think, said they're falling down, dilapidated, so let's tear them down.
Okay.
So there was one that was right next to the tree. Number 2 was here. Number 3 was where the restrooms were.
Okay.
But that one they didn't tear down initially, because that's where the doctor lives, so it's worthwhile having him next door to the prison. So 1940, all of a sudden they tear these down, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of dirt out here, and you know gardeners, you know, so immediately said, oh, let's start planting stuff. you know.
Yeah.
So they did. And so this stood here as a garden through 1960s, but in 1963 the federal prison closed. Well, for decades people didn't pay any attention to the gardens out here. In fact, for 40 years. So when we got here, 40 years later, that's what this garden looked like right here.
Wow.
And you see there was a big tree in there, and that tree grew in that 40-year period of time. So the national park has this thing of everything has to be historic. And this tree did not appear in any historic images, so we were able to chop it down. As you see, there was a stump right there.
Oh, okay.
So underneath all this, we found all sorts of different plants that had survived 40 years of the thing. So here we have this picture of one of our prisoners actually working here in the garden. Well, when we got here initially, all this brick and everything, because of the overgrowth and all that, had all gotten pushed out of shape. So we actually used this photograph to know where the paths were and how, and so we reset the bricks all based on this. So we recreated the garden as it was at that time.
Very cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
What's this one up here?
This is actually the U.S. Well, here, let's go with this one
Okay.
first.
Oh, wow.
This is 1853. This is Alcatraz. This is when the U.S. Army arrived here to build a fortress to protect San Francisco Bay. So they sculpted this island, all the pathways, roadways, and everything you've been walking on, dynamite, pickaxes, sledgehammers. They had 200 soldiers who would say, hey, you, go take that sledgehammer, make that rock much smaller. You know?
Wow.
And so here we have an example of guys just standing out there. Hey, if you keep that up, we can house you here.
Yeah.
Make a little cage for you. So
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the, and that's the houses again that we hear.
you saying bye to, Rhett?
So much. What?
Who are you saying bye to?
The flowers.
Was that your favorite part of today?
Looking at the flowers. I want to see them again. Bye, flowers. Might not see you ever again.